Hello, it's the African Couch Potato, the mashup. This is episode 49. I am your host, Gino Shedile. We are 5.5 episodes away from our birthday, which is on July 18th. How this whole podcast thing started is I actually wanted to go on radio. Having failed to do that, I ended up on a podcast with my producer, Ted. And today I will be speaking to a real radio broadcaster. Her name is Lebang Kgosana, and we chat to her in exactly 5 seconds. Lebang, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you, darling?
I'm good. The name Lebang.
Yes.
How many people call you Lebuhang?
Unfortunately, too many. I spend most of my energy in a day correcting people than I do introducing myself. But it is what it is. I've just kind of gotten used to it. I'm always like, no, you don't have to call me Lebo. It's not Lebo Gang. It's not Lebo Gang. Lebang will do. And then they get it wrong again. Then I'm like, think Bonang.
Yes.
Lebang. It's literally the exact same thing. Then they get it. So.
But what does Lebang mean?
It's exactly that. Lebang Kgosana, Shebang, Lebang.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was actually named after Bonang, ironically, because our dads are like besties.
Yeah.
So she was born, I think, like a year or two before me. And then my dad had me, and he's like, oh, what am I going to name my child? And he's like, bestie, I'm going to name my child after your child. They were just doing this whole like bromance thing, which was weird, but it was ironic because we both ended up in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So Lebang means to look. It means look over there, like, watch. Have a look at that.
Like
yeah.
Bona Kwa.
Bona, Leba, yeah. And I don't like what you said about like you tried to get into radio and then you couldn't, so then you just settled for podcasting.
Let me explain myself.
I
right?
mean,
I didn't settle for podcasting. I have a thing that I do called TV. Right?
Oh, that whole thing?
Yeah, so I make TV and I watch a lot of TV.
Yes.
Then I comment on stuff that I watch.
Yes.
Then on WhatsApp, they said go public. So I went to Facebook. Then Facebook said go public car. Then I went to TikTok, but I ran out of clothes. Then I was like, I want to do radio because then I don't have to be seen.
Nobody's going to see you, yeah.
And then Ted commented, is like, why don't you just do a podcast?
And thank you for Ted because, I mean...
Now we're here.
Sense. Look at us.
5.5 episodes away from our birthday.
Whoop, whoop.
Do you speak French?
Je parle le petit français.
I knew it because I saved your name as Bonjour Lebang.
Why did you save it as that?
Because that's what you do. Like Soweto, whoever.
Oh, yeah.
So,
so you
Bonjour. So she has to speak French.
Did I speak French to you when we met?
I think so.
But remember,
also,
when we met, I was a lot younger, a lot hotter.
You were.
And so were you. And I was like, ooh.
I'm not hot now.
I was like, ooh, this guy's so cute. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I had like one kid. And I was like living my best single mom life. So I was definitely throwing bones. And this is the first time I've seen you since then.
Yeah.
And,
and
like,
now you've got how many kids?
6 kids. I've put on a little bit more weight. So
you see, you actually didn't like me.
No, I really did. Let me tell you what I
saved.
saved.
More kids.
I saved you as something that I probably shouldn't say out loud. Why am I exposing? There it is. Dude from last night.
Flip.
It's been that for like 10 years. And there is no other dude from last night.
Now
You are the guy. Yes, you're the dude from last night.
So now your kid's father?
What about him? He's not the dude from last night. He's the dude from right now.
Let's chat career. You're in radio, TV, podcast, brand management, and the Triple B. Now you're back at radio.
Yes, I am.
Let's start from YFM Academy.
Cool. Let's start Y Academy. I got a phone call, and let me just take it a step back. When I was in university at the University of Pretoria, Team Tux, woo, go Tux, I applied to be at Tux FM, and they were like, no, we don't think you've got it, sorry. And I was like really crushed. I was like, okay, fine. Maybe I'm not good for this thing. And then that's when I was like, let me try TV. I was literally auditioning every single week, like getting rejected like crazy, but I still kept going, right? And then I was like, this TV thing, maybe that's also not for me. And I mean, I was entering competitions like Channel O is looking for a presenter, Top Billing's looking for a presenter, all those really big, we're coming to your city, and then 10,000 of us would be in a line. I never got anywhere with those things. So I was like, let me try something else. Then I got a phone call.
Yeah.
Someone's like, yo, YFM's looking for people. Have you ever thought about radio? I was like, yeah, I did a little bit of news reading at some small internet radio station a couple of years ago, but I'm not sure. Let's just see. I get there and true to form, crazy lines. It's packed. There's like 1 million people all wanting the dream, right? Everyone wants to be a star. So I didn't go there fully confident. I just went there. I was like, let's see what can come out of this. I'm coming off of the back of rejection.
Yes.
Literally, no. You're not what we're looking for. You're not pretty enough. You don't have that it factor. So I was like, at this stage, let me just go to this audition, but then I know after this I'm going back to varsity. I need to finish, get an education so I can go find a 9 to 5. Was literally where I was.
Yeah.
So I go to YFM and I had an absolutely amazing audition. They love me. They were like, oh, this is great. Come through. And I got it. I think they chose like 12 of us out of the gazillions that were there. So I was like, ooh, maybe I'm back. Cool, got in there. I stayed at YFM for about 4 or 5 years, and Y Academy was so unique in that it was the only place that you could go to as a young creative at that time and learn the different sides of radio. So you get into the building and you spend 2 weeks producing, you spend 2 weeks on air, you spend 2 weeks in the sales department, you spend 2 weeks in the graphics department.
So it's like a boot camp.
It's literally a boot camp, but it's so good because you're living in the experience, right? Whereas if you were just studying this thing, it's just on paper.
Yeah.
Now it's like you're head to head with the work and you have to figure it out. So you learn a little bit of everything. And that's what I did. I had an amazing time. I learned so much. I think I learned a little bit too much. It kind of messed with my idea of what radio was because I've always just been a storyteller. Like my thing on earth is to tell stories and to save lives.
And to make the world a better place.
100%. So when I got to YFM, I was like told, no, this is a business, sweetie. We need to pay bills. You can't get on air and say whatever you want to say. You can't turn on the mic and sing Kumbaya. You have to get there and do live reads and sell this product and that brand. I was like, oh, this is a lot. It was messing with what I believe my purpose was at the time. So it kind of crushed my dreams a bit, but I get it. I understand like holistically what that was for. So YFM was great. And then I moved into television content production. I went to Shizners, which was a big deal for me because I've always loved hip hop music. It's literally like in my blood. So I ended up learning a bit more about television. And remember, I had kind of given up on TV as far as being on television. So now here I am behind the camera. I'm like, I'm in it. So now same thing. I'm like learning this. I'm learning camera work. I'm learning what the machines are. I'm learning so much. I'm pretty much a sponge everywhere I go. I'm sure you notice, but that's just kind of what keeps me going. After that, I'm like, cool. I get retrenched. You know, this is a classic South African story. Now I'm like kind of stuck. What am I going to do? Ended up just like hustling.
This is not after varsity.
This is way after varsity.
Okay.
I think at this point I just kind of like let that all go. I'm just doing my own thing now, finding my own feet. And I find this basically online school that's called I Was Born to Speak on Radio. And at that time I'm like down in the dumps.
That's the name of the school?
The name of the course is
I Was Born to Speak on Radio.
IWTSOR. The acronym of I Was Born to Speak on Radio, that's what it's called. And it's like hosted by DJ Smooth, Fat Joe, you know, some Penny Libya. And I'm like, oh, these are some experienced people. Surely this is not a scam. Cool. So I apply for it and everything goes well. And I think in my second week of being on this online, now this is during COVID, in my second week of being in this online course, Gareth Cliff is one of the guests that we're going to have in the masterclass tomorrow. They need somebody to introduce him. I'm like, yo, I'll do it. Cool. So as I'm introducing Gareth on this online meeting, I'm sure there's like 30 people online. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is Gareth Cliff, and he is this guy. If he's you'll find yourself falling off a cliff. Everybody laughs. Gareth goes, that's the best introduction I've ever had. Can I hire you? I'm like, cool story, bro. As soon as that thing finished, I freaking found his email address. I'm like, hi, it's the girl you said you want to hire. It is me.
Take me now.
Take me now. I wasn't joking. This is my CV. Dog, within a week.
Is this when he had just started Cliff Central?
No. So he started Cliff Central 2010. This happened during COVID. So later years. Much later. After YFM, after ETV, after Channel O, I also did like some music shows there as well. But yeah, always found myself back to being the storyteller. So got to Cliff Central, spoke to Gareth and Rena. They literally had nothing for me. They were like, hey, dude, Cliff Central is like the kind of space where you can come and learn if there's something going on. But right now there's nothing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks. It was worth the try. As I'm walking out of the door, there comes an email. Hi, we're trying to put a campaign together. Gareth is like, sorry, turn around, sit down. Something just came through. We literally all sat together within like those 4 hours, put together this great proposal that landed us really, really nice amounts of money from really, really big brands. And then we started. That was my first day, essentially. And that was an amazing 3 years at Cliff Central. I started my podcast. In fact, my love for podcasts actually grew there because I looked around me and I'm like, Cliff Central's doing something that no one else is doing in this country. And they've been doing it for this long.
Yeah.
and everybody told them you're not going to be able to do it. I was like, this is something I need to do.
Coming from Y, which is like radio, to podcasts where it has like 2 listeners a week.
It's worlds apart. But the benefits are crazy as far as you as the broadcaster. When I was on radio, I had to do a 7-minute interview. A 5-minute interview.
Yeah.
Do you know that within 5 minutes, I don't know you.
You're taking nothing from no one.
I have no opportunity to get to know you. The audience is not going to connect with you. What podcasts have done for me, it's allowed me to actually connect with people in a way where the listener can also connect with the person that I'm talking to. And that for me matters so much more than paying the bills and making sure that all of that businessy side of things.
Yeah.
So yes, it's different in that, when you're on radio, you probably have thousands and thousands of listeners, but when you're doing a podcast, it could just be one person. I would rather get one quality audience member who's going to be loyal, who is more conscious, who's choosing to listen to my podcast, than 1,000 not so loyal, not so quality, not really choosing to be there, just scrolling in the car listeners. I'll do that any day.
Now, how do you rein yourself in? Because there's a part of your personality that's very loud in the way that you dress, in the way that you carry yourself, in the way you're very expressive. You're a storyteller.
Yes.
How do you not run away with the car? Like, how do you just basically hone yourself into making one piece that's going to be 15, 20 minutes long?
Yeah, so I generally tend to run away with the car. I'm the kind of person that's just going to like jump on the train and work on. I've got an amazing producer who has this ability to just like pull me back down to planet Earth and just like, let's bring the levels down. And we've worked with each other for long enough now. He can see when I'm starting to just lose a little bit, and it's important to have a team of people that can do that for you. Almost that balance, like a relationship. You can't both be on 10 all the time, 10, 10, 10, 10, you know what I mean? So it's also part of the growth, I think. So in some spaces, I'm completely okay to be completely just running and doing that. For example, I did a Snoop session just yesterday, and my station manager was like, dude, your links are too fast. You're running, you're just babbling, blah, blah, blah. Like you get so excited and you get so energized, you just want to go. She's like, slow down, breathe, drink some water, start again. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what? This is part of the growth process. I need to almost tweak my mind into remembering that I'm back on radio. So I need to just like get back into that groove. Whereas with my podcast, I never struggled with that vrr. I was so chilled, so comfortable. I'm having a conversation with someone that inspires me, and I want them to inspire my audience. So I'm passionate and I'm excited, but I'm not running. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're taking a long walk to this destination. Whereas with radio, it's like, gah, 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 gah. So it's a lot, but it's part of the growth process. And it helps to have people around me that can identify that, hey, you're doing a bit too much, run it back. Then I'm like, okay, cool. Because I can't see myself. I'm just having a good time. I'm the talent. Well, this is what we do. We just go. So having people around you that can say, hold my hand. That's what I appreciate.
Then 919, how does that come about?
Yeah, so 919...
Is it a new station?
It's not a new station. It's about 3 years old. It was previously known as Star FM. Okay. So about 3 years ago, I don't know if you remember, there was a time where the station came out of nowhere and Unati was doing the drive show. Greg and Lucky were doing breakfast. I think Mansing was also doing a drive. It was like hectic where all these amazing broadcasters coming from and why are they all going? It was just like, what's the station? Everyone had a lot of questions. So when that happened, everything was going well, and they had to also retweak their brand positioning and how their business strategy, basically. The people that started 919 are people that I worked with at YFM. So Yukanthan Pillai's, Karen is the station manager there. She's been a station manager at a lot of stations. Mervyn Sigamani is also, so it's the same people that I was with at Y. So they called me and they're like, yo, dude, we want you to come join us. And I was like, I just left Cliff Central. I think it was like, I left Cliff Central yesterday and I got the call the next day. Yes. So I kind of felt like, why is this happening so quick? I wanted to just take some downtime to figure out what my next steps are. But like with all things, sometimes the steps come to you. You don't want to waste too much time sitting and doing nothing. You just want to keep working, right? So they hit me up. They're like, bro, come through, do some things. And I was like, I do want to get back on radio, but I want to get back on radio big. Like I want to go to like Metro, or like maybe like Kaya, or let me just like dabble in Power a little bit. Then I'll end up at 947. I was dreaming massive. And then they were like, cool story, bro, but you haven't been on air for some years. You're not as visible and you don't have to practice. I was like, you know what, you're right. Let me come do 919 for a couple of years, get my practice on, build it up, build the brand, do all of that, and then I can start dreaming like that. So it was all just meant to be, essentially. I kind of figured it's okay to knock on doors, and I'm happy to do that, but isn't it so much nicer when they knock on your door?
Yeah.
Damn.
Because now it's on your terms.
Exactly. Because if I call, insert great radio station name and say, oh guys, please, I'm really good, I promise, I've got a profile, here's a demo of my link, I can do this, I swear, they'll be like, oh, okay, well, here's 1,000 rand salary. And what am I going to do?
Because you're begging them.
I'm begging them, so I'll take it. So I think I'm looking at like the long term, the end game, which is they're going to call me and say, dude, we see your work, come through, let's chat. Then I can say, thank you, I want 50 million.
Yeah, and they will give you that 50
They'll
million.
They'll give me.
First day back on the airwaves.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Now, are you in your head about it?
100%.
Because what happens a lot, and so I don't wear headphones because I don't like listening to myself when I speak. So now I'm imagining if you are listening to yourself when you speak and you're also listening to music and you've got a producer and you've got a guest and they're counting you down for the news, doesn't it get a bit complicated?
So the first day back, yes, of course. I have to have headphones personally. I love the sound of my voice. I like to almost hear when I'm counting in the link and the music is counting down. So I'm literally going 5, 6, 7, and voo. Then I start talking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And then the news is coming up and then I hit the liner. It's all like it's a system to me, and once you just get into it, I just go. The desk was the thing I needed to just sort of like, reteach myself. It was the same desk as YFM. So luckily, and it was interesting because a lot of the broadcasters, a lot of the people that I work with don't touch the desk at all.
Yeah.
They just sit in the chair and just do the link from here, and you on the other side will do the desk work.
Because you're the talent.
Sure, but I want to know how I go in, right? So if there's a song playing and it's got like a do, ka, gu, 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 ka, gu, ka, gu, 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 ka, then I'm going to talk.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not just going to talk randomly like, gu, ka, okay, cool, so that song with the...
But so many people do that.
And
So
they're
many
not good
people do-
as
yeah.
a result. Their radio is, I don't want to say flat, but it becomes very copy-paste. Everybody sounds the same. Everybody's telling you, okay, it's 3 o'clock, welcome to the show, it's 3 o'clock, this is what I just played you. Boom, get into the topic.
And the thing with great radio is that you can hear it when it's produced well. You can actually hear that the team is working together because you'll say boom and the next song they'll play is from Boom Clap.
Exactly.
So everybody is in sync.
Yes.
Whereas you listen to these other radio stations and besides like the pauses in between, it's like nobody knows what's happening.
No, they're just a group of friends at a braai, having chats, getting paid to talk. That's all that it is. And the reason why they're getting paid is because they've got big followers.
Sorry, talk me through the desk. So you mentioned
Yes.
the desk. A lot of people who are listening might not know what you mean when you say you're working
Okay, so
the desk.
the desk is pretty much when you're in a car, there's a steering wheel. The desk is the steering wheel of the show. You press buttons so that certain sound effects or certain voices or noises or whatever are played. My microphone, I switch it on and off on the desk. If the newsreader comes through, I switch her microphone on and off on the desk. She's playing clips from a different server. I need to then pull that clip, pull it into this system and play that off of the desk. There's just different channels. It's like a whole thing that essentially allows you to control the flow of the show. My favorite thing about running the desk is that I can essentially pick where the music is going to play.
Yes.
So for me, I have to have, because I do a lunch show, 12 to 3. During lunch, people are like at the office, there's a bit of a lull. I have to pick people's energy up. I want them to forget that they're in that lull. So I want bangers. Whether it's local or international, doesn't matter. But I then choose, okay, at this time, I'm going to move the song down so that it plays immediately after my link. After I've said something cool, then boom, there plays your favorite song type thing. So the desk just allows you to control what happens on the show. And it's important, I think, in my opinion, for you to be able to use it so that you can be in charge of how you sound and how the final product gets received. If not, other people are in charge of that. Then you're just in the passenger seat with your mouth open, but somebody else is driving. I have a license.
Yeah.
I would like to do this. Thank you very much.
But some people like being passenger princesses.
Good for them.
And if they're working with a solid team, because like you're saying, there's a lot of divas who just want to come in and talk. And other people must read your mind to say, because people also start understanding your nuances, your flow, where you pause, where you cough. So they know at this beat, she's going to say this.
Yes.
Your music, you said you want to know what song is playing at which point.
Yes.
Do you compile your own music?
I participate in the music committee. So we've got a committee of music heads. And then as the host, you can decide if you want to participate or not. So I said, yes, please. Otherwise, I'm just going to play whatever the station puts in the library. And because the station is like a combination of sounds where I'm probably the only person who really likes hip hop music there.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, not so much. So you'll find that I'm the one who's trying to find feel good hip hop songs that can uplift the mood, that aren't all about money and drugs and sex and whatever hip hop has been positioned as. I'm trying to reposition that at the station. So we all kind of choose what music gets played. It's 70% local. We love to push local music, obviously. We like to keep our local count high. But it's just such a big mashup of stuff. There's a lot of old school like rock and a lot of old school house, which is cool for me as well. A lot of new school pop. It's just a mashup of stuff. Now I remember 919 was previously Hot 919.
Yes.
And Hot FM is essentially just like an old school throwback station. So we find ourselves playing a lot of those old school songs still, and the audience loves it. So I'm like, great, how can I make this work for me? That's when I come through with my old school hip hop, old school R&B, like my Montel Jordans, my Biggies, my Tupacs, and it works.
And when you mess up?
The show needs to go on.
So you know how people get a writer's block or stage fright?
Yes.
When you're in the middle of a show and you forget your links and you just like black out.
So again, this is where my producer comes in because he's amazing. I have like a running order, and that running order tells me at this time, at this link, this is what you're going to say. So it has like maybe 4 points. It'll say throw forward, play the upcoming songs, this is the topic. It'll just have the touch points on what I need to say. When I don't use that as a guide and I'm just rambling, there are times when I find myself like blah, 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 and I go, anyway, it's cool that it's still a conversation at the end of the day. So I'm not a robot. There'll be links where I freeze right in the middle and I forget, and then I go, hey, I almost said the wrong thing, and then I carry on. So practice definitely does make perfect. So I try to go home and practice my links in the mirror, or in the car when I fetch my kids from school, I'll be linking to them. And they're just like, what is this woman doing? I know why I'm doing it. It's because I want to get better at it. I want to really tighten up the craft.
And keeping your energy levels up, because you're speaking to yourself for 3 hours.
All the time. It's pretty crazy, but I do it.
And you sustain that energy?
I do. I'm a naturally I'm a positive person. I'm a very energetic individual. For a very long time, people actually thought I did drugs, and I never have. I've just got this fire for life and fire for things that I love. And my favorite thing is connecting with people. My favorite thing is telling these stories. So first hour, go in, boom, boom, boom. Second hour, go in, boom, boom, boom. If by the third hour I'm starting to slow down, dude, that's where I put music that's going to make me stand up and dance. So if I'm in the studio by myself, in that last 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'm usually up dancing because I need to just, maintain that. Otherwise, I'm going to fall asleep, but I can't afford that. You know what I mean? So there's just tricks and triggers that I use to keep that energy up. Because what I don't want is to start on this high at 12 o'clock. Someone's in the office and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm listening to the free lunch. I know I'm going to feel good after this. And then by 2 o'clock, I'm like, yo, guys.
As we draw to the end of our conversation.
Finally, the show's coming to an end. I hope you guys are fine at the office.
Travel safe.
Be good.
Hashtag. Don't forget to X
social
us.
media.
My name is Lebang.
You feel me?
I hear you.
Because energy is literally contagious. Energy doesn't lie.
And in the morning, you psych yourself up. You go to a mirror and you're like, I can do this. I can
No.
conquer the world.
I've never done that.
Ever.
I've never done that.
You wake up on the go.
I wake up like this. Dead ass. I wake up like this, bro. Literally, like I go.
Because I'm the opposite. I have to psych myself up for any social interaction. I have to be like, one at a braai, I've got 4 hours. That's my quota. That's me max. I will start the fire. I will talk. I'll make sure everybody's drinks is ready. After that,
really,
I just keep quiet.
I don't remember.
And it's like
I don't remember you like
automatic switch. I didn't have kids at the time. Yeah.
Now you've got how many kids?
2.
2. How old are they?
It's 9 and one just turned 6 on the
You've got
20th.
big kids.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That's very exciting.
That's where it stops.
Are you sure?
I hope so.
That's what I said 4 kids ago.
Speaking about kids to the younger generation, people who are coming up and they want to get into broadcasting,
yes,
particularly radio.
Yes.
What route would you suggest?
So I always say that the kids of today are so lucky. They've got all the tools there for them. They don't need to wait to get the phone call. They don't need to wait to be selected.
Yeah.
They can literally start their own radio stations from their bedrooms right now as we speak. So my advice to young kids who want to get into radio is don't wait for them to come to you, especially if you're still starting out. Put the work in, get your 10,000 hours in, get your experience in as far as what it takes to wake up every morning on time, to put together your own show. Learn as much as you can. When you're confident in, I can put a link together and this is a demo, then start sending it out. Start sending your demo out. If you send your demo to 50 radio stations, 49 of them can say no, but at least one will say yes. Go to that station, learn what you can. Don't ever think you're bigger than the station. That's another thing, that these kids will get there with 28,000 followers on my Instagram.
Yes.
So when they arrive there, they're expecting to be treated like, hey, the Queen of Sheba. Girl, guy, you're gonna have to start at the bottom like the rest of us did. Start with your graveyard shifts. Once you've done graveyard, go to your weekend. Once you've done, it takes a long time to get to weekday. It takes a long time. Lunch, breakfast, drive. It's gonna be years until you are ready for that. And when that opportunity arises, you wanna be ready. So keep working. If you don't have any work, make the work.
Yeah.
Do your own radio show at home. Record yourself, do an Instagram live in the form of a radio show. Do a TikTok live, whatever it's called, Twitter spaces. There are ample platforms where you can get the practice in. And that's why, I say the kids of today are so lucky. Whereas when we started, we didn't have all of that. We just had the stations and they had all the power. Whereas now the power is kind of in your hands. If you want to be on radio, ask yourself why. Why do you want to be on radio? If you can have a good answer to the why, then that should dictate whether you should proceed or not.
Yeah.
If you want to be on radio to be rich, it's not going to happen. Radio doesn't make you rich. If anything, it sucks your soul. It's quite the opposite. You don't get paid very well in South Africa. Like, it's just not a thing. If you want to get on radio to make the next person's life better, go for it. But start with yourself.
With all of those things that they have, is there now no issue of lacking discipline? Because remember, we're like this because we went to boot camps, right?
Sure.
They teach you to shoot, to edit, to put a story together, beginning, middle, end. Whereas if you say to somebody, use the tools that are available to you, one, they become divas because of their followers. Secondly, they become above advice and then they quickly crash. So how can, in addition to them using all of these tools and the internet that's available to them, still keep their eye on the prize?
On the prize. It always goes back to the why. Know why you're doing a thing. If the reason why you're doing a thing is a real reason, then none of those things will matter. You won't lack the discipline. You won't, fall into that diva mode because you know why you are there. For as long as you don't know why you're doing something, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And you'll just kind of go with the wrong flow. And this is why I say you need to keep working, because if you wake up every morning and you say, I have a duty to my audience to produce this show, you're going to get it done. And remember, that's you just doing it. Nobody's asked you to do the podcast. You're just doing it for yourself. You'll be more attractive to the bigger companies.
Yeah.
Because clearly, even on your own, look at what you can pull off.
You're taking yourself seriously.
You're taking yourself seriously. When we pull you into our institution, you're ready. You're at the level where you're waking up on time. We know we don't have to worry about having to call you, figuring out where you are. You're ready because you've shown that you're willing to do this even on your own. It's the same thing as wanting to start a business. People say, I want to start a company, but I don't have funding. I don't have capital. we're not going to give you capital if you've done nothing.
Yeah.
With the little that you've got, what have you been able to pull off? If you've been able to do the damn thing with the little that you've got, here's 50 million.
Yeah, because you've committed to the dream.
100%.
How can people get hold of you?
Okay, cool. So you can get a hold of me. First things first, I accept e-wallets. The number is 074-846. I'm kidding. So I'm across everywhere. I'm on social media at Lebang Kgosana. That's on TikTok. Lebang Kgosana on Instagram. Lebang Kgosana on LinkedIn. Lebang Kgosana on Facebook. Lebang Kgosana on Twitter. But you can also get me at lebangkgosana.com.
Final push, Triple B. What's that about?
So Triple B Media Agency is my small brand communications agency. We basically come up with creative solutions. So if you need some social media done, we'll put you on. If you need a website done, we'll put you on. If you need a TVC, we'll put you on. If you want an event, we'll put you on. If you need PR, we'll put you on. We basically are that bridge between culture and corporate.
Yeah.
That's where we're trying to position ourselves. We are 100% female, 100% mothers. We are all like momtrepreneurs, and combined we've got like over 60 years experience in the industry, in different spaces of the industry. So we're just trying to bring brands closer to the people on the ground. I'm tired of watching a commercial on TV that I'm completely disconnected to, where you can see the decision makers were 20 middle-aged white men down in Cape Town making decisions about what Sipho in Alex is doing with his money. So this is what I'm trying to fix. I love my country, dude, and I think we've got a lot of potential, and I would love to play my part in making this all make sense.
Yeah, that's another thing we have in common besides kids is the fact that we love our country.
Yes.
That's Lebang Kgosana, and us you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, Deezer, all of the platforms, or you can email me on gino.alechino@gmail.com. Until next time, goodbye, and as usual, keep binging.
Bye.